coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 2,361, with 5 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 20 additional cases were reported and no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Trutanich. It's Tuesday, August 3rd. 70% of American adults now have gotten at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. This milestone comes a month later than President Joe Biden had hoped for. He initially set a goal to reach this point by July 4th. This data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention was published on Monday, and federal health officials say it's a crucial step towards reaching herd immunity when enough people in a given community have antibodies against a specific disease. While this is a significant achievement for the country, health experts say it should be seen as a floor rather than a ceiling, especially as the highly contagious Delta variant continues to spread. A member of a vaccine advisory committee for the U.S. Food and Drug Administration says we need to have at least 80% of the population vaccinated to truly have some form of herd immunity. And doctors are still worried about local communities with lower vaccination rates. The CDC reported an average of about 660,000 vaccinations per day as of Sunday. Vaccination rates vary widely across the country. 20 states and the District of Columbia passed the 70% milestone, with Connecticut, Hawaii, Massachusetts, and Vermont crossing the 80% mark. Almost 63% of Californians are fully vaccinated, and another 9.5% are partially inoculated. More than 11.3 million doses of a COVID-19 vaccine have been distributed so far across LA County. Public health officials say Angelenos can request a mobile vaccination unit to provide vaccines if there is a special event, organization, or workplace. This week, there are 772 sites offering vaccinations throughout LA County and 312 mobile teams offering vaccinations. The latest data from the CDC shows that more than 99.99% of people who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 have not had a breakthrough case, resulting in death or hospitalization. The data highlights what health experts have already been sharing regularly, that vaccines are very effective at preventing serious illness and death from the coronavirus and are the country's best defense during this pandemic. The CDC reported 6,587 breakthrough cases as of July 26, including 6,239 hospitalizations and 1,263 deaths. At that time, more than 163 million Americans were fully vaccinated. If you do the math, that comes out to less than 0.004% of fully vaccinated people that had breakthrough cases ending with hospitalization, and 0.001% of fully vaccinated people died from a breakthrough COVID-19 incident. About 74% of these cases happen among those 65 and older. The CDC has been gathering data since May, and officials say it offers a snapshot to help identify patterns and look for signals among the breakthrough cases. The CDC also just added 16 destinations for travelers to avoid right now. Included in the very high COVID-19 risk level are Greece, Iran, Ireland, Libya, St. Martin, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Travelers are advised to avoid those countries if possible, and if they must travel there, to get fully vaccinated first. In fact, the CDC recommends anyone planning to travel outside the U.S. borders to be fully vaccinated, as they are less likely to get and spread COVID-19. According to the agency, the countries that fall into the very high risk category have had more than 500 cases per 100,000 residents in the past month. Despite the airline industry kicking off the summer season strong with a record number of travelers back in the skies, they're feeling yet another setback due to inclement weather and staffing shortages this week. More than 800 American and Spirit airline flights were canceled and delayed just on Monday alone. This is also leading to issues with dozens of arrivals at the Los Angeles International Airport. Spirit Airlines tweeted, "Before going to the airport, check your email and current flight status," as they are experiencing operational challenges in some areas. American Airlines, which shares numerous bases with Spirit, also canceled nearly 450 flights, which is close to 15% of its Monday's schedule, with an additional 674 flights delayed. So far, Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport is leading the world in flight cancellations and delays, affecting nearly 35% of flights from the airport just yesterday due to thunderstorms. Fort Lauderdale International and Orlando International are also reporting hundreds of delays and cancellations. According to FlightAware.com, Spirit passengers have reported waiting hours in line for customer service and requesting refunds at various airports across the country. Kaiser Permanente is taking a big step in the fight against COVID-19. The healthcare organization announced they will require all employees and physicians to get vaccinated with the target date of September 30th. With the hopes of reaching a fully vaccinated workforce, the move is part of the organization's ongoing efforts to protect the health and safety of its workforce, members, patients, and communities. Kaiser is the nation's largest integrated nonprofit healthcare organization and one of the largest private employers in Los Angeles County. They have more than 216,000 employees and more than 23,000 Permanente Medical Group physicians. Employees will be provided information on the safety and efficacy of the COVID-19 vaccine and receive paid administrative time off to get inoculated at Kaiser's on-site vaccination clinics or other locations. Unvaccinated employees and physicians may apply for medical or religious exemptions. Currently, 77.8% of Kaiser's employees and more than 95% of its physicians are already fully vaccinated. Dining out or grabbing a drink with friends may require proof of vaccination now. With fears over the Delta variant, many restaurants and bars in Los Angeles County started asking customers to show that they've been vaccinated against COVID-19 or show a negative coronavirus test before entering their businesses. Now, this is not a county health officer order, but rather action taken by business owners due to fears of recent case spikes. Just in the last 4 days, LA County reported more than 3,000 new daily coronavirus cases, with mostly unvaccinated persons getting sick. LA County Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer said every single person hospitalized and severely ill from COVID-19 is unvaccinated, and these hospitalizations and deaths are for the most part preventable. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio also announced today that they will require proof of vaccination from anyone wanting to enter restaurants, fitness centers, and indoor entertainment venues, with the policy taking effect over the next few weeks and enforcement beginning September 13th. A new study found Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine may be less effective as soon as 4 to 6 months after getting the second dose. Pfizer's company-funded survey found that the vaccine's efficacy was strongest at 96.2% between 1 week to 2 months after receiving the second dose. The study then showed that effectiveness declined at an average of 6% every 2 months. More than 44,000 volunteers participated in the study, which also found that at the 4-month mark, the effectiveness dropped down to 83.7% in most fully vaccinated individuals. The study has not been peer-reviewed. Funding for the research comes as Pfizer has been pushing for a third COVID vaccine dose to boost immunity protection, which U.S. health officials vetoed. Currently, the National Institute of Health, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, and the CDC all do not recommend booster shots at this time. Well, quite the opposite is taking place across the globe as Israel becomes the first country to begin administering COVID-19 booster shots to anyone 60 and over. 30,000 Israelis received their third booster shot on the first day of the campaign, which launched on Sunday. Last month, Israel was one of the first countries in the world to formally offer third shots to organ transplant recipients and other immunocompromised adults. The program has now been expanded to the entire elderly population. The Israeli military was enlisted to support the campaign as Prime Minister Naftali Bennett urged everyone to get the vaccine. Now, this does not come without controversy, as the World Health Organization and the FDA have not yet approved the use of a booster shot. So far, more than 5.3 million of Israel's 9 million citizens have been fully vaccinated with the two-dose Pfizer shot. The Ministry of Health, along with a team of experts, found effectiveness of the vaccine diminishing over time among patients 60 and older. With the end of the federal eviction moratorium comes the possibility of millions of tenants losing their homes. The moratorium expired over the weekend, and according to the Aspen Institute, more than 15 million people currently live in households that owe as much as $20 billion to their landlords. As of July 5th, about 3.6 million people in the U.S. said they faced eviction in the next 2 months. Legal advocates and law enforcement agencies are gearing up for evictions to return to pre-pandemic levels across the country. According to the Eviction Lab at Princeton University, that means 3.7 million people are displaced from their homes every year, or 7 every minute. Some of the cities facing the most eviction cases are Phoenix with more than 42,000 filings, Houston with more than 37,000, and Las Vegas with close to 37,000. Here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom signed Assembly Bill 832 into law on June 28th, extending the protections available for residential and mobile home renters facing eviction due to COVID-19 financial hardship through September 30th. For details, you can visit housing.ca.gov. A town hall will take place this weekend for those wanting to learn more about a couple of recently passed Senate bills that could affect single-family neighborhoods. Senate Bills 9 and 10 passed in the California State Senate and will be heard in the Assembly as early as August 16th. These bills could mean the end of single-family zone neighborhoods throughout California. If passed in the Assembly, developers and real estate investors would be able to build 6 or 14-unit market-rate housing in lots where single homes currently are. This could lead to increased costs and/or demands on neighborhood parks, power grids, public safety personnel, schools, sewers, and water. To learn more about these Senate bills, the public is encouraged to join the town hall. It will take place on Saturday, August 7th at 10 a.m. To sign up, follow the link on the screen. A second snow leopard has tested positive for the coronavirus at the San Diego Zoo. The 3-year-old female named Nafisa showed a positive result in an in-house SARS-CoV-2 PCR test. The zoo is waiting for the result to be confirmed by the National Veterinary Services Laboratories. This news comes just days after her male companion named Ramil tested positive. Zoo officials are trying to figure out how these leopards got infected. The two animals share the same habitat with a couple of Amur leopards, and they've all been quarantined as a group since last week. We're told the snow leopards are not showing any concerning signs of illness other than coughs that are going away. Their exhibit will be closed for now, and park visitors won't be able to visit the leopards until further notice. The Torrance Police Department will have additional officers out on patrol tonight looking for those who may be driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The extra officers will be on the roads from 6 p.m. until 3:30 a.m. Police say they want everyone to be as safe as possible and remind the public that some prescription medications or over-the-counter drugs may also cause impaired driving. And while medicinal and recreational marijuana use is legal, driving under the influence is not. A first-time DUI charge could cost an average of $13,500 in fines and penalties, as well as a suspended license. Funding for the patrol program was provided by a grant from the California Office of Traffic Safety through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community, pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. National Night Out is tonight, and Torrance residents are encouraged to participate. This is an annual community building campaign that promotes police-community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie to ultimately help make neighborhoods safer and a more caring place to live. National Night Out also provides a great opportunity to meet your neighbors and members in your community under positive circumstances. Millions will take part in this year's National Night Out across the U.S. on August 3rd, with many neighborhoods hosting block parties, gatherings, sometimes cookouts, safety demonstrations, seminars, youth events, and often a visit from emergency personnel. For more information on how you can register your neighborhood for National Night Out, go to natw.org. And if you have questions for Torrance Police on matters regarding your local event, email communityaffairs@torranceca.gov. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Christine Lee brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.